So Perk on ESPN basically said that Russell Westbrook need to take a page from Rondo, and whenever he's on the floor, he should tell LeBron to move out the way. The offense is going to run around Russell Westbrook. Now there has been growing speculation as Frank Vogel tinkering with the offense, with the lineup, particularly when Russell Westbrook is on the floor. He's adding more shooters around Russell Westbrook, uh, and that's sort of hurting LeBron James whenever he's on the floor. He normally, when LeBron James is on the floor, he keeps Carmelo on the floor, Bradley on the floor, and AD. And therein lies the problem, trying to run two different lineups and two different ways of attacking the basketball, which is when LeBron is on the court, it's more of a slow-paced half-court game. When Russell Westbrook is on the court, it's more of a up and down, fast-paced type of game where it's like today's basketball where everyone's running back and forth to get their shot off within 10 seconds. And to me, I feel like I don't want to beat a dead horse when I say this, but the Lakers' problem is not going to be solved overnight. Now, people are talking about they should fire Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel should be immediately done as the Lakers head coach when Frank Vogel had no say-so or a choice on the off-season moves and acquisitions. All right, Rob Pelinka holds that, as well as Jeannie Buss and LeBron James. The roster that they currently have and have been constructing over the offseason, which, by the way, if you've been following me, I've been telling you guys I did not like the acquisitions the Lakers had. It was way too many variables, too many older players, in my opinion, and not enough youth. They traded away their youth, and they've been doing this for the past couple of seasons, trading away younger assets, and they're flourishing on other teams. Case in point, Ball, even though they had no choice but to get rid of him to get the services of Anthony Davis. But you mean to tell me Ball and Brandon Ingram could not help this team, could not contribute as far as this team being successful and maybe having a better record than what they currently have as of right now? Alex Caruso went to free agency. He got the money, and he's in Chi-Town, and he's raising havoc for the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls are having a great, phenomenal year. You mean to tell me Alex Caruso could not help this team if this team committed to Alex Caruso? Even though I'm not a huge fan of Kuz, and he's doing some decent things with the Washington Wizards. But you mean to tell me he could not help with this team as far as maybe this team? Right now, this team is like 11-12 or 12-11. They're barely 500, and if the season ends today, they will be in the play-in tournament, which is no surprise for Laker fans. The Laker fans say, well, for the past couple of seasons, we have always been in the play-in tournament. And LeBron James says he really doesn't care about their seeding nor their position. As long as they're in the playoffs, they're in the playoffs. But the problem lies that you're playing against the better teams, and you kind of want to get the higher seeding so you can maneuver away from those better teams, and hopefully another team knocks that team off, and then hopefully you'll be able to win a series with the team who just beat the higher seed, if that was the case. The Los Angeles Lakers, how they're constructed, I was never a big fan of it. They gave away way too much for Russell Westbrook. They should have stuck with the best decision to benefit this roster, which is Buddy Hield. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Buddy Hield is not doing a lot of things in Sacramento. Yeah, but neither is Russell Westbrook, okay? And Buddy Hield in Sacramento Kings did beat the King and the Los Angeles Lakers a few weeks ago, even though the Lakers won the second time they matched up. But look at the final score and look what the veteran teams, their players had to do to preserve that win. It wasn't, it was just a simple fact of, Anthony Davis was hot, Carmelo Anthony was hot, LeBron James was hot, Russell Westbrook was hot. And I believe that game went into overtime. I'm not 100% sure, but the chances of all those guys being hot at the same time is few and far between, and the chances are of you winning those games in overtime or double overtime or triple overtime, depending on that logic, is not great either. Okay, so the Lakers have a lot of changes that they're going to have to do. And the changes are not going to affect the team successfully overnight. These changes are not going to happen. Firing Frank Vogel is not the answer. As far as finding trade partners, now a lot of people are talking about Kemba Walker. Maybe the Knicks will entertain a proposal from the Lakers as far as trading Kemba Walker to the Los Angeles Lakers. And in return, I don't know what the Lakers are going to give the Knicks, because what the Lakers have on their roster is a lot of teams do not want it. Okay, a lot of teams look at that as trash. That it's not going to help or benefit, particularly contending teams. All right, and teams that are on the verge of being a contending team, they're not going to look at the Lakers as far as, well, what they have on their roster can help us over here. That's not going to happen. I don't see a Kemba Walker trade being made. And to be frank and to be totally honest, the Knicks have plenty of time to trade him to another team where they can get some assets that's going to help the New York Knicks this year, as well as the near future, with draft picks and things of that nature. And if they can't find a trade partner, they can always release him and just buy him out of his contract. I think they owe him $8 million, which is not a lot. I feel like they can easily orchestrate a buyout for him on that level. But chances are a player like that is going to be definitely going to be traded to another team. The Lakers internally have to make their philosophy. They're going to have to change. They're going to have to slow the game down. They're going to have to play defense, okay? And Anthony Davis is going to have to stay down low as a 4 and a 5. Now, he can float around the perimeter and every once in a while get a 3-point shot off. But at the end of the day, Anthony Davis is their best big man. Now, Dwight Howard will have it some nights, but not all nights. Anthony Davis is going to have to commit himself as far as being a low post threat and a defender down on the low post. I feel like they should move LeBron to the 4, let him play some 3. You have enough guys who can play the point, who can also play the 2. You don't have enough wing defenders. You don't have a lot of forwards that can play wing, and therein lies another problem with the Lakers. Now, they done made all these picks. These acquisitions over the offseason, and they're not flourishing. They're not paying off. Okay. And I felt like they went way too much on the older side of things. This is still going to be a young man's league. I felt like the Lakers should have traded to get younger instead of being older. And I feel like that's another thing that's going to happen to the Lakers. And another thing that has been that's been plaguing the Lakers is injury. They've been injury prone. Okay, LeBron's been in and out of the lineup. Anthony Davis has not been in and out of the lineup as much. But we all know ultimately it's going to happen. Anthony Davis is going to miss a lot of time because he's never been consistently playing seasons from start to finish. Carmelo's going to get nicked up sometime. Rondo is older, and Russell Westbrook is going to get nicked up, and also he's going to need some time. He's not the same Russell Westbrook with OKC or with the Houston Rockets, or even last year with the Washington Wizards. I don't think you're getting that Russell Westbrook. But what Perk is honestly saying, I feel like that can help and hurt the Lakers at the same time. Russell Westbrook has never been a point that was a decision maker that make the right decisions at the right time. I feel like in some games, putting him at the point makes a lot of sense, but in a lot of games, a lot of important games, you're really hedging your bets and pushing all the chips in the middle of the table when you play teams such as the Suns and you got Russell Westbrook playing the point. Okay, so I see where Perk is coming from, but however, I feel like that's one of many things that can help the Los Angeles Lakers right now, and that's not going to change the fact that the Lakers are going to be struggling through these rest, particularly they're going to be without LeBron for the next 2 weeks. And it would not shock me if he takes even more time off, resting, because that's time he comes back, that's around the holiday time. He'll probably play the Christmas game. Then he's going to shut it down. Because after the Christmas games, it's the All-Star break, and I just think that having Russell Westbrook at your point can help sometimes, but it's not going to help all the time, and it's not going to help the biggest problem that the Los Angeles Lakers have, which they are too old, they're too slow, and they don't want to play a lot of defense. You have to be committed in playing defense. You can't turn it on and off like a light switch, and it is what it is. But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy. I'm up out of here. Deuces.